Hey guys, welcome back to the channel for another video. Happy Tuesday before Thanksgiving. I cannot believe it's already almost Thanksgiving, but welcome back for another video. If you are new here, my name is Brittany. I've lost 115 pounds on GLP1s and I share all of that here, from my personal story to news stories, tips and tricks, research that I've done, everything from a real, raw, relatable, down-to-earth, we're a big group of friends here kind of way. So would love to have you subscribe, join in the comments, and also join the Facebook group. That is a free encouragement group. A lot of people from over here are over there, and we all just get to know each other better and cheer each other on and congratulate each other. And we're all very like-minded over there. So come on and join if you are interested. It's free, and have some fun with us. Before we jump into today's video, I do want to very quickly mention that Orderly does still have all of their Black Friday promos going on. I'll probably mention that, here and there over the next couple of weeks, as long as they run the promo, just for all of you to be aware of. But you can transfer in right now on any dose. This is the first time they've ever offered that, at $224 for tirzepatide or $111 for semaglutide. So that is the lowest transfer in price. Any other time, transfers paid the full price. So this is an amazing deal. You can get any dose, 15 milligrams of tirzepatide for $224. So check that out in the bio. The link's in the description if you are interested. They also do have their starter promos going on where you can get it for even lower. I think the tirzepatide is $150 per month on the lower doses. So if you are on a lower dose and you're staying there for a while, like if you've just started, getting the starter promo would be what you would want to do. You would just mark that you are not on the medicine currently when you sign up, and then they will offer you that starter promo and you'll get it for $150 a month for tirzepatide or $74 for semaglutide. Okay, there's my little spiel about that. Links are in the bio. Okay, so this video, we are going to be discussing what you can expect the first 3 months of your GLP-1 journey. And when I was researching and writing this video out, there was a specific group of people that was really heavy on my heart. And that is the group of people, which I think most of us fall into this at some point in our journey, that sees all of these highlight reels online, right? So we see all these people losing a ton of weight. We have a friend that lost a ton of weight her first month, whatever. And then we go into it blindly thinking that we are going to lose that much weight at that point as well. And then it just doesn't happen. And then we're really discouraged. And all we get the first month is nausea, right? I think that it's really important to remember that the first month of your journey tells you literally nothing about how your journey is going to go. During the first month, your body is just adjusting. Weight loss is not expected. If you talk to any medical professional in the world, they are going to tell you that 2.5 dose of semaglutide or the 0.25 dose of, I'm sorry, I said that backwards, 2.5 of tirzepatide, 0.25 of semaglutide is not designed to create a bunch of weight loss. It's not a therapeutic dose. Does it for some people? Yes, but that's not the majority. That's not what is supposed to happen, but we see things online and then we get our hopes up. So that first month does not make or break your journey. It does not tell you whether or not you're going to be successful on a GLP-1. If you haven't lost any weight at the end of the first month, it means nothing, really. Now, if we haven't lost weight in, 3, 4, 5, 6 months, then maybe we need to talk about it. But at a month, it tells you nothing. Your body is adjusting. So that was a group of people that I really wanted to focus on in today's video. But we're going to break down what happens in, again, months 1 through 3. So weeks 1 through 4. Your body is adjusting, okay? So you start at your lowest dose, 9 times out of 10, you're starting at the lowest dose of the GLP-1, and your body will start shifting from the hormone replacement and the activities going on inside your body. So there are GLP-1 receptors quite literally everywhere. They're on your taste buds, they're in your kidneys, they're in your gut, they're in your brain, everywhere in your body. There are GLP-1 receptors through different blood cells and stuff, which is why like in your immunity, why it helps with inflammation. All of those areas in your body are going to be affected by the GLP-1. So what is happening in that first month, weeks, especially like 1, 2, towards the end of the first month, it kind of levels out. But especially those first couple of weeks, your body is adjusting. So what you may notice and what you may experience is nausea, vomiting, fatigue, bloating, belching, sulfur burps are awful. Even a mild headache, which is something that I suffered with a lot every time I would increase my dose, and especially when I first started. Those are all 100% normal side effects that you will have, most likely, when you start a GLP-1. Your body is adjusting, okay? So not only do we have all of these receptors going on in that are being affected and fired up in our body, we also have within the gut insulin regulation starting to happen. Ghrelin which is the hunger hormone, is starting to be affected. The levels of ghrelin in your body. Your digestion is being slowed down, hence the nausea, the vomiting, the constipation. All of these things are happening at one time. And that is why the 2.5 dose is imperative on your journey. Because if you jumped from 2.5 to like 7.5 if you didn't even start at 2.5, say you just jumped right in at 7.5, oh wow, would you be sorry? I have a personal experience with this with my sister when she started on semaglutide. Okay. It was actually just for you on Apple Music. Oh, Alexa's turning something on my TV. If you started, she turned Adele on. Okay, gotta go turn that off. So when my sister started on Wegovy, I guess it was about 2 years ago now, when she went to the doctor, he told her that she probably wouldn't be able to find the lowest dose. It was when the stock issues were a really big thing. This was like late 2023, like September, October of 2023. And that she could start on a higher dose, but she might regret it. And so she did, because she, at that time, not a whole lot was known. I told her, she asked me, and I was like, I'm not a doctor, but B, life's probably going to suck for a week or two. But she decided to go forward with it. And let me tell you, life sucked for a week or two. She was canceling plans. She's a teacher. She was calling out of school. So all of that to say, the 2.5 dose, the lowest dose, is necessary. And while it sucks if you don't lose a lot of weight during that time, for the overall pleasant experience of your journey, taking that lowest dose is necessary, and allowing your body the time to adjust to what is about to happen is 100% necessary. So think of that first month as, this is prepping my body for what's to come. You are prepping your body for the weight loss that is to come in that first month. Going into it thinking that, with that mindset, will help you not be disappointed if you don't lose all of the weight like some people do. Now, talking weight loss, what can you expect in that first month? So before I say this is the average. So we all know what an average means, right? We're all adults here. So there are going to be outliers on either end of the spectrum. There are going to be people who lose 20 pounds, and there are going to be people who gain a pound in that first month, okay? But the average weight loss of a person in the first month of GLP-1 therapy is between 1 to 5% of their body weight. So say you weigh 200 pounds, 1% would be 2 pounds, 5% would be 10 pounds. So you are losing somewhere in the 2 to 10 pound range, then you are 100% normal, okay? But also, if you lose nothing or you lose 20, you also are normal. That first month tells you nothing about how your journey is going to go. It is just your body adjusting. Now, by the end of the first month, okay, you can expect that you will start to notice your appetite decreasing, that you are staying full longer between meals, and that your food noise has slightly started to go away, especially if you're on tirzepatide. If you do not know, tirzepatide tackles 2 hormones, the GLP1 and the GIP, whereas semaglutide only tackles 1. So tirzepatide is better at shutting down food noise in the brain, which is like the cravings, the constant obsessing over food, that thing that goes on in our head that we didn't know was even a thing until GLP-1s came around. So by the end of the first month, you can start to expect that your appetite will decrease. If it doesn't decrease within the first, within the first like couple of weeks, keep going. Even if 4 weeks, if you're still hungry all the time and you haven't noticed any decrease in appetite, keep going. People need different doses to reach therapeutic levels, okay? You just might need a higher one. Okay, moving on. your blood sugar will improve pretty instantly. That happens relatively quickly. And I already said some experience lower food noise. Now, what to watch for in that first month? Watch for extreme stomach pain, back or side pain, extremely low blood sugar. When you stand up, you get super dizzy, or any other serious side effects. Talk to your doctor. Even if it's vomiting that is severe. If we are throwing up all the time, if we cannot hold food down or water down, call your doctor. Okay, that's very important. Moving on to months 2 and 3. Now, this is when it gets good, okay? This is when most people start to say, okay, wait, this does actually work. Like, okay, you're increasing your dosage. Usually you're going up 1 dose per month. That is the standard titration schedule, although some do it differently. You know, it's just dependent on what you and your doctor decide, of course. You're staying full much longer between meals. You're eating much less at meals, okay? Your taste begins to change, which is something that I have touched on more extensively in the past in different videos, and I think I might actually need to retouch on, but your taste will change. Like I mentioned earlier, there are GLP1 receptors on your taste buds. So what happens is you don't get the same dopamine high or rush from high sugar foods, greasy foods that you used to get. And so your body doesn't crave them as much. And so your brain tells your taste buds that they just don't taste the same and you're just not interested in them. That's kind of how that process happens. So most people notice that they can't tolerate rich, greasy, or spicy foods like they could before. One thing that I hear often is Italian food. So like spaghetti sauce, pizza, stuff like that. A lot of people are like, I just can't do it anymore. It just doesn't taste good to me anymore. That is actually quite normal. And again, it's just that food noise shifting off and your brain starting to relay to your taste buds what it actually needs versus what was giving it a high before. I hope that makes sense. You will have a significant reduction in food noise in months 1, 2 to 3. So this means that you are not constantly obsessing over food anymore, and you start to realize you have extra space in your brain for extra stuff. And it's pretty freaking cool when you realize that you don't need to eat every single bite on your plate, that you can be satisfied with half of the food or whatever. Side effects tend to return during this stage when you increase your dose, but they don't stick around. So month 1 is rough with side effects for most people, right? Months 2 to 3, it's more so that you'll have side effects when you increase your dose. You might have it for a few days to a week, and then you're fine the rest of the month, and then you start over again when you increase your dosage. So they tend to level out, side effects do here in months 2 to 3 and onward after that, to the point where, 3 years in now, I don't really get side effects other than some occasional constipation and occasional trouble sleeping, but it's not consistent and it's not all the time. So if you are somebody that is in month 1 that is really struggling with side effects, just know that for most people, they do go away or they do taper off to a very manageable point, okay? At this point, this is when we start to see a lot of light bulb moments happening, right? So the aha moments, your mind being open to, oh, this is how people that don't struggle with obesity actually live. This is when we start to notice that. So people report that they are more clear. Their brain is more clear. The fog has been lifted. Again, probably because we're not obsessing and thinking about food as much. You have less food anxiety. So you aren't that person worrying about what you're going to order off the dinner menu with your friends that night at dinner and obsessing over every calorie that you put in your mouth. You're no longer that person. You have less food anxiety. You make peace with the food that you're eating, and your emotional eating greatly decreases. So the tie between your emotions and food is just severed. And let me tell you, it never really comes back in my personal experience, with my journey. I used to be the type of person that would have a bad morning, or my kids would just drive me crazy that morning. And then it was just like, okay, well, I'm just going to eat whatever I want all day long because I had a bad morning. And I was that person for a long time. And I've not been that person. And I was that person my whole life. And I'm not. That is months 2 and 3 is when you start to see that shift happen, where one day you'll realize that you've had a terrible day. It's the end of the day, and it'll click in your mind that, oh, I haven't binged, or I haven't eaten, half a bag of potato chips or whatever. And then you're like, oh, well, darn, that's really freaking cool. It'll start to click in your mind what is happening. You'll start to be aware in months 2 to 3. Whereas month 1, you're just trying to survive all the side effects and your body adjusting. Months 2 to 3 is when it really starts to work and you notice things. You start to realize the shifts that are happening within your body. Now, weight loss. Oh wait, let's backtrack a little bit. Another thing I want to say is that it starts to become easy to make right choices. This is something that I've touched on so many times, right? Weight loss should not be hard. You should naturally want healthier things. It should be easy for you to make food choices that are good for you because you don't have that emotional tie, because you don't have that food anxiety, because you don't have the sugar cravings that you had prior to a GLP-1. You should start to notice that you just it's easier. Weight loss in general, making healthy choices, exercising, it all becomes easier in months 2 to 3 than it ever was in your life. And you will start to click again, oh wait, this is how it is for people that aren't obese or that don't struggle with this, it's not that I didn't have willpower, it's that I was broken and now I'm fixing myself and it's actually working and I'm actually able to do the things that everybody always said that I should be able to do. Okay, now weight loss, okay? By the end of month 3, the average weight loss, again, outliers on either end, is 5 to 10% of your body weight. So again, using that 200-pound model, we are anywhere from 10 to 20 pounds lost by the end of 3 months. Now, this is where I'm going to shift my opinion a little bit on this. Again, I'm not a doctor, but if you have not lost a single pound in 3 months, then maybe it's time to go and talk to your doctor, especially if you're on semaglutide, because it doesn't work for everybody. And there are people that notice that the tirzepatide just works way better for them. And some people need to make that switch. Giving semaglutide 3 months and then not losing anything is probably the amount of time where you're like, okay, maybe I need something different or something stronger. Okay. Metabolically, your A1C has improved. Your blood sugar has definitely improved. By 3 months, you should be able to start seeing positive changes on the inside. So if you get blood work done, everything should be trending green in the right direction by the end of 3 months. Okay. Now that we've kind of talked about what you can expect in terms of weight loss, in terms of side effects, in terms of food noise and appetite suppression, let's talk about what are some tips to help you during the first 3 months and when to call your doctor. So some tips to help: eat slowly, focus on protein, and focus on water. Water helps you with so many things. It helps all of your side effects like your constipation, your headache, your nausea. Water fixes everything. Drink water. If you're going to focus on 2 things, protein and water, and maybe I'll add a caveat of fiber in there as well, because we do definitely need fiber to keep us regular. Okay. Avoid high fat, greasy foods. They worsen your side effects. Like going to McDonald's, going to wherever and getting a burger and fries are going to make your side effects so much worse. Just like, I don't believe in eliminating anything, but during that first month, stay away from greasy foods. Your body will thank you. I promise. It'll make the journey easier. That does not mean that 6 months or however much along the road that you can't have a burger. I've had many a burgers since I've started my journey, but during that first month, while your body is adjusting, maybe avoid that. And then for constipation, add fiber or add magnesium. My goodness, I wish I had done this so much sooner. I take the Bio Optimizer's magnesium. I'm not gonna ever try another one because it works so well for me. And it's, seriously, take it like from the beginning. It'll help your life so much. Okay, now when to call a doctor. If you notice severe vomiting, not being able to keep anything down, please call your doctor. Severe mood changes. Some people notice higher anxiety levels, especially once that food noise is turned off and that emotional connection with food is gone. Some people mourn that connection with food. So please make sure you talk to your doctor if you're noticing any significant mood changes. Severe abdominal pain, dehydration, especially from vomiting. So if you are not able to keep water down, again, call your doctor. You need to be hydrated. Dehydration leads to nothing good in life. And then severe back pain. So you want to make sure that there's that black box warning of pancreatitis. So if you're having severe vomiting, severe abdominal pain, severe back pain, please call your doctor and get it checked out 100%. Make sure that you're taking care of yourself. But if you're just having the more mild side effects that I was mentioning earlier, know that those are expected. So that is what you can expect months 1 through 3 on the GLP-1, and some tips and tricks to help you along the way. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. I don't know if I will post again before Thanksgiving, so if I do not, I love you all. I'm thankful for each and every one of you. You guys have no idea how you have single-handedly changed my life, and I thank you all for it. So thanks for watching today's video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Have a great day, guys. Bye.